everywhere. But we've got some oaks, we've got some sycamores, we've got some box elders, we've got...
It's a brisk and blustery day in Northern California. And these teams are ready to get to work.
Yeah, these will all go on the left side of the truck.
These high school students are part of the Center for Land-Based Learning SLEWS program.
SLEWS is an acronym, and it stands for Student and Landowner Education and Watershed Stewardship.
It's a program for high school students focused on agricultural and environmental science. And it all happens out in the field. We're out here along the Sycamore Slough where these eco-warriors woke up bright and early to come out here and do some work. Let's go see what it's all about. It's a day for getting close to nature and getting your hands dirty.
Yeah, we're trying to rebuild a natural habitat.
Well, just like restoring
native species
and plants, trees and shrubs.
Matt Leckmeyer is SLEWS program coordinator.
Today, Colusa High School is at Davis Home Ranch, assisting with a project that started in 2009.
The ranch is bordered by the Sacramento River and the Colusa National Wildlife, so it's a significant connectivity between the Colusa Basin Drain and the Sacramento River.
Davis Ranch's project manager, Emily James, says that they take that responsibility seriously.
The current family owners have a huge interest in conservation and integrating sustainable farm practices within their conventional farm.
It's a several thousand acre property. And we are planting hedgerows on the edges that aren't as productive for rice and tomato production or walnut production, and they're more valuable as wildlife habitat instead.
Most of these here, like, they've died off in the area because invasive species, like ones that come take over the area and take up all the minerals in the ground.
Audubon, California is a partner in the project. Restoration project manager Matthew Danielchek explains the goal.
We are planting these today to bring back some habitat and some wildlife to the Central Valley. We've lost a lot of it over the last 100, 200 years, and we've discovered that we can put native plants on the edges of farms and between fields, and that's enough to bring a lot of wildlife back.
So Yasmin, what are we planting here today?
We are planting a Ruminus californica, which is also called a coffee berry.
We've seen old aerial photos of Sycamore Slough, and there used to be a lot more trees along here. And it's called Sycamore Slough, right? For goodness sake. So we really would like to see some big woody vegetation to provide habitat and food for raptors, for pollinators, and other birds.
Those raptors, those pollinators also help the farmers. Most of the crops need to be pollinated, and the farmers need to control pests, which the raptors do very well. So the natural wildlife will help reduce the need for insecticides and poisons. These guys are getting the job done.
30 plants down already.
We do programs like this to help the community and help the county around us.
And I also think it's a great opportunity for students to get out of the classroom and meet professionals in the field, kind of hear about their stories about how they got to their job, what they like, and why they're out there every day doing it.
Learning new things and getting to get dirty and not have to go to school.
It's hands-on. You're not stuck in a classroom just looking at a paper. You're actually looking at the plants and seeing how they feel, the smell of it.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun than sitting at a desk.
Right.
It's more hands-on.
The Davis Home Ranch provides a great example for students to understand that environmental stewardship is not mutually exclusive with agriculture. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can actually have productive land that is also functional as a habitat for wildlife.
So I'm putting a hole in the drip irrigation tube so I can put an emitter in, and it can put water throughout the entire system. When the trees and shrubs are all planted, they lay drip irrigation to provide water for the first 3 years, so they don't die in the dry winter or the dry summer ahead.
I really enjoy working with high school age kids because they're on the verge of choosing really important things, like where they go to school and what they study and what they want to do with the rest of their lives is really gratifying for me, so they can actually understand what the possibilities are for them after high school.
As for the students, it may be cold and windy, but they feel good about what they're doing.
I love it, actually.
I like planting the plants. I think that's fun.
We rely on our environment whether we choose to acknowledge that or not in all ways. That's where our food comes from. That's where the clean air and clean water that we require for health comes from. And so the more youth that understand that, the better off we are in managing our resources in a sustainable way.
Because of us, some people won't see like what we see today. Like most of these trees around us, they're not going to be around. But since we're out here helping, there might be a chance they could see some of this beauty out here.
It's all in a day's work for these eco warriors.